Hello, Tomasz here. Today I want you to take a look at the work of Waldemar Brzezinski. He was born in Poland, but he's based in Berlin, in Germany. He creates some of the most beautiful images I have seen. He shoots on film cameras, and I absolutely love the look and the character of his images. It's probably the exact fact that he uses film that makes his images so natural, so real, even when looking at them on my computer screen. I kind of feel like they are jumping out from the screen. I feel like I become a part of those scenes, a part of his photographs. Valdemar shoots color and black and white, and I find all of his images equally compelling. Let's see what Valdemar himself has to say about his photographs. Valdemar, tell me about your photography. When did it start? How did it start? And where is it these days?
It started when I was like 17, 16, 17, when I took some pictures by accident of a friend. Not by accident, it was, we just fooled around. And I saw the pictures and I found that maybe this is something I can make a living off, maybe, but then I started partying and something like this, and then like 5 or 6 years later, I tried to get some assistant work as a photographer, but my idea to assist a photographer and by that time, the idea of the photographers, what an assistant has to do, were quite different. And I couldn't get along with photographers because most of them wanted me to clean out the studio and something like this, and they don't want it to teach. Because I don't know why, and so I decided maybe this is not the kind of work I can do. And then later on, I met a guy who had two photography shops in Berlin. And I asked him, because he was like, I don't know, the English word for Ausbildung, it's like trainee programs. And he had like 3 or 4 trainees, nice guys. And my back then girlfriend met him. And she told me about him. And I went to his place, to his studio, and asked him if maybe I can work at this place and learn something. And he agreed. And he was a nice guy. I had the key of the studio and of the lab, and I could do anything with any camera that were there. And I had a lot of input of the other photographers that were there about all the technical aspects. So this was, I'm a practical photographer. And when I was a trainee, back in the days, it was all analog photography. And then around the year, I don't know, 2000, 99, 89, the first digital cameras came out, and I was a bit skeptical. But then I had a digital camera, and I think for the practical work as a photographer, when you do like advertisement, blah, 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 anything it's better to do it digital because all the clients want to see the pictures on a screen. And but my artistic work stayed analog because I like the analog approach. I like the slow working, that seeing the frame and not shooting like 50 pictures of one portrait just to be safe. I like to do like 1 or 2 pictures of one motive and then do the next thing. And this is much more, I'm much more focused when I'm analog, much more concentrated on doing the picture. And sometimes, I don't take the picture because I think I don't need it to be on film. So I move on. And
was the kind of photography you were doing, back then, and compared to what you are doing today, is it kind of the same direction, same kind of?
No. In the beginning, I wanted to be something like, I wanted to take pictures of models and fashion, and I did a lot of musicians back then, and but I just wanted to make some money out of photography, and later I started taking care of the art form and lost interest in the commercial side of photography as an art form. I still have to make some money with some pictures that I take, but this is not the photography that I wanted to be seen. And so it's really different to back then. It had back then it was much more like had a commercial approach with the lighting. I still have lights, and sometimes I use them for work, but nowadays I prefer the natural light that I find on the scene.
I prepared 20 photographs.
Okay.
And you don't know what those images are.
No.
And you will be the one choosing randomly 7 images. And let's spend 1 minute with each of those images and share with us, whatever thoughts you might be having in this moment when you see the image.
Yeah.
So let me share the screen with you.
Okay.
Okay. I need your number, 1 to 20.
I don't see any pictures.
You don't see them yet. You just have to tell me the number.
Okay, 7.
7.
Okay. Okay. This is obviously self-portrait of me and my girlfriend on a bus station near a house that her parents own, and sometimes we go for vacation. And this is during the time we were kind of fresh together, and we were at the first time at the house. And I'm a huge fan of the remains of the social architecture in the east of Germany. And I saw this bus station with the chairs that somebody left there for maybe older people to sit in during waiting for the bus because there's nothing. And I took some pictures without us, and the last 2 pictures, I asked my girlfriend, "Come, let's try a self-portrait," and we did this. It's just a funny approach to that picture without us.
Next one.
12. Yeah. Yeah, this is a picture of my daughter in a hammock. Basically, from time to time when we're together, she's like, she's 20 and she's studying, and she lives with me most of the time, but now she's in Turkey. And we were in the garden, and she laid in that hammock, and it looked really nice. It has a nice summer approach, the picture. And I asked her to just take a picture of her, and it went pretty well.
What about the look? You as you said, you dabbled with digital photography, but for your artistic work, for those images, you're staying with analog.
Yes.
Is it also something about the final look, final character of the image that speaks to you much stronger?
Of course. because I think that digital pictures are often too sharp, too much of everything, and I like that it's medium format and it's really good quality, but it has a the slight imperfection that the analog thing has, or it gives to the look. I like it very much, and this is one of the reasons that I use it. And yeah, you have
Next number.
Next number 15. Yes, a guy I met on a job where I was an assistant of another photographer, and I met him, and he was some guy that was with a production company, and I liked the way he looked. He was without the mustache back then, and he was, and I took some pictures of him right on the location where we were. This was outside of Berlin, and I asked him, maybe we can do some portraits in your place or something, when we have a little bit more time. And I had the feeling that he is a little bit too beautiful for the kind of pictures that I wanted him to. And I asked him, can you grow a mustache? And he was, yeah, of course, I can grow a mustache. And then he grew that mustache, and we took some pictures with the mustache. And he's a really nice guy. And the mustache, I like guys with mustaches, so.
And you work exclusively with available light, is it correct?
Yes. Mostly, yeah.
Is it also something you experimented with, and the flashlight, maybe some continuous light? And did you really make this conscious choice going with available light?
Yeah, I go with available lights whenever I have the opportunity. Sometimes it's too dark, yeah. So I have some flashlights, and but normally I don't bring them. When he sent me some pictures of his flat before we met, and I saw, okay, there are huge windows, it's bright, I don't need any light, and that's okay for me because I work with a tripod. And sometimes I have to tell the people, okay, you have to stand still for like a second because, there's not much light. But at some times I use the flashlight. But when it's a studio setting and something like this, I like it. But when it's on location, I don't like to bring everything with me. It kills my spontaneous feeling to making some pictures. When I have to do like 3 tripods, 3 lamps, and light in and everything, and it's
like
sometimes it has to be, but I prefer it not to be with artificial light.
Next number
3. Yeah, it's kind of the same. She, I don't know. I met her via Instagram. She wrote me, maybe we can do some pictures together. And then I invited her, this is at my place. I invited her to take some pictures, and my idea was to take a walk and take some pictures. And I didn't research really well what her thing is to do pictures nude. And I don't do this. It's not my kind of photography. And she came like in a jogging outfit because she thought that she will take the clothes off and I will take some pictures of her. And I was like a little bit disturbed by it because I didn't know this. And so I took some clothes of mine out of my closet and gave it to her. And then I told her I would like to take some pictures of her in the shirt. That's my shirt, and it was I don't know when it was. No, I posted in April, but it was darker days then, and so I decided to take some black and white pictures with the lamps that are in my living room.
You photograph your family members a lot, right? But you also work with people who are reaching out to you, to get some pictures.
Yeah, sometimes people reach out, but sometimes it's I have as much followers I have, as much I get. People are asking me, but it has to be something that I'm interested in, and I'm not interested normally in model photography and TFP shootings and something like this. If I think the person looked interesting for me and I can, work with that, I say yes. And sometimes, because it's super expensive, when the person asks me to take some pictures, I basically add some, maybe bring some film, and so we can split. And I asking people on the street. It works for me as well. If there was some people are super interesting, and I have my the zines. I have one in my car, and sometimes when I ask somebody, even women are like, think I'm a strange guy, and then I can show them, no, this is it's just portraits work. You don't have to worry about anything like taking your clothes off or something erotic. It's just I do portrait photography basically, and I'm interested in persons.
Wonderful. We have 3 more images to go. So next number
19. Yeah. She is a friend of an ex-girlfriend of mine, and the first time I met her, I knew I would like to take a portrait of her because she has a super, super interesting, intense face, and the red hair. Everything about her has my liking. Yeah, for portrait, and this was one of the times that I have light with me because she lived back then in a dark flat in Neukölln in Berlin, and I was not sure, and I wanted to make it, I wanted to have the light in the face, and I brought a flash in the softbox and did that picture in her flat. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, next one.
20. Let's do 20. Oh, okay. This is the what I told you before. I like the socialist architecture, and I was in Halle with my girlfriend, and we took some pictures because I heard about there's many socialist architecture left, and we visited because there was a mural of Karl Marx and other socialists, and they renovated it. And we figured out, it's not far from Berlin. It's like 1.5 hours. And we took our son and drove there, and I took some pictures. And maybe, my liking of socialist architecture comes from my childhood. Because we lived in West Berlin, and when we moved to West Berlin, it was the 70s. We were not allowed to visit our family in Poland for like a few years, and that's why my parents moved to West Berlin, because we got the German citizenship really fast, like in 3 months, and then we could go to East Berlin, and the Polish relatives come to East Berlin, and we were quite often in East Berlin, and so I trade my eye with socialist architecture, but I can't figure out why I like it.
No, I think it might be a very same reason, very similar reason to why I react also to your pictures, even stronger, because of course, I was born in 75 in Poland, communist Poland. So I am reacting to a certain nostalgic look, but also locations, the places you choose. So definitely there is also something to it.
Yeah. So you're not much. Yeah, I'm born in 70. So when you were born, we moved to West Berlin.
I see. Okay, Waldemar, last but not least, which number?
One. It's another one of my daughter now studying. And this is the University of Arts where she's studying. And we were in the Newton Foundation for an exhibition together. And I had my camera with me. And after that, I asked her, because the Newton Foundation in Berlin is around the corner of the University of Arts. And she's studying arts, German language and mathematics to become a teacher. And so I asked her, let's go to university, and I take some pictures of you in the yard of the university just for remembering, like a picture of it. So this is at the backyard of the University of Arts in Berlin.
I want to ask you about, and it's different, obviously, with, film, analog photography, about the choice of black and white versus color. I mean, when you're loading a camera, you're deciding already on a film, at least for, I guess, minimum 12 frames, right?
It's just 10. It's Pentax 7.
Yeah. What makes you decide, and when and why, if you go with black and white photography or color on any given day?
Yeah, no, most of the time I go with color. But sometimes it's just a feeling, It's not. Maybe on this particular picture, it's because we were in the Newton Foundation, and there was an exhibition about Vogue photography through the past 100 years, and most of the pictures, that I was attracted was black and white. Maybe this made me choose for this particular day, and I took the whole 10 pictures with her at this location. So I knew it's just for this 15 minutes, and then I can reload the camera with a color film. But sometimes it's just, I don't have any special reason to use black and white. Sometimes just a feeling. I have some films with me, and then I'm okay. But it's right that sometimes I have a black and white film in the camera, and then I'm disturbed. I don't want it, and I see something, and it's so sad. I would like to take a color picture of it, and then I have first, I have to do 5 black and white pictures of random stuff, and this is
so you have the feeling, the kind of film you have in your camera, right now, influences the kind of images you produce on any given day.
Yeah, mostly. As it's when I have a black and white film that's not finished in the camera, it's I took a little less pictures because I have not I don't see that much pictures that I think fits to the black and white that I would like to take, and then sometimes I see something, and then hopefully it's something that doesn't move, in the location or something like this. I can come back and take some pictures in color film of it. But sometimes it's okay, I have to do 5 black and white pictures before I can take my picture that I want to take now. And then I hope I have my girlfriend around or my son and something, I take 5 pictures of it, and then I remove the film and take the pictures I want to take. Yeah. But normally, most of the time, 90% of the time, I have a color film in the camera and color films with me, and it's just 2 or 3 black and white films that I have, in the backpack, just in case. It's sometimes it's a person in the portrait, and I see there's something maybe with the skin of the person, and I figure out that the person don't want to be photographed because of something. Then I can take black and white film out and say it's just black and white, so don't worry about something that's red or some Yeah. So I can deal with problems with like this. Yeah.
Wonderful. Last question, Valdemar. Think about 10 years from now, into the future. Where do you have any vision, wish? Where would you like your photography to be in 10 years? Do you have any goals, any ideas for the future?
Yeah, my goals for the future is to work harder and getting better at my art form, and hoping to find more galleries that will, display my kind of photography. And maybe I would like to make a book. I'm working right now on my third zine, and I have an exhibition by the end of the month, and I will combine the exhibition and the release of the zine. So this is something that I enjoy the most nowadays. Working on an exhibition, looking at the pictures and choose the frame, which one, and also, working on the pictures for the zine. This is something that makes me happy. But not the most thing that makes me happy is that I can contain to do photography. This is something that really makes me happy, and I have the most joy about it.
Wonderful. Valdemar, thank you so much. Really love your work. That's why we connected. And I would love to have it, to present it one day in the Frames magazine. So let's stay in touch. Would be wonderful.
It would be wonderful for me too. So
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.